Maya stood at the rusted gate. The old house loomed dark and silent. It was her childhood home, but it felt alien, menacing. Her parents were gone, a tragic accident. Now the house was hers. She pushed the gate open. The hinges groaned, a mournful sound. The garden was overgrown, weeds twisting around the crumbling statues. Maya shivered, a cold wind whispering through the trees. It felt like the house itself was watching her. She took a hesitant step, then another. The house seemed to draw her in, its darkness beckoning. Maya felt a chill, a prickle of unease on the back of her neck. Something was wrong, she knew it deep in her bones. The air inside was stale, heavy with the scent of dust and decay. Cobwebs clung to every corner, and the furniture was draped in white sheets, like ghosts. Maya wandered from room to room, each step echoing in the silence. She found her old room untouched since she left. Her childhood toys sat on the shelf, covered in a thick layer of dust. A faded picture on the nightstand showed her parents, their smiles frozen in time. A wave of sadness washed over her. As dusk settled, shadows stretched across the walls. The house creaked and groaned around her, the sounds amplified in the silence. Maya jumped at every creak, her heart pounding in her chest. She was alone, utterly alone. Or was she? The next day, Maya decided to clean the attic. It was a cluttered mess, filled with forgotten relics of the past. As she sifted through old boxes, she stumbled upon a wooden chest tucked away in a corner. Curiosity piqued. She opened it. Inside, nestled among yellowed letters and faded photographs, was a leather-bound journal. It was her mother's. Maya's heart skipped a beat. She opened the journal, her fingers trembling slightly. The pages were filled with her mother's elegant handwriting. The entries were normal at first, filled with mundane details of daily life, but then the tone shifted. Fear seeped from the pages. Her mother wrote of strange noises, shadows moving in the night, a feeling of being watched. And then the name appeared, the Watcher. That night, Maya couldn't sleep. Her mother's words echoed in her mind, painting terrifying images in the darkness. Every creak of the house, every rustle of leaves outside her window sent shivers down her spine. Then she heard it, a soft whisper, just at the edge of hearing. It seemed to come from the hallway outside her room. Maya froze, her breath catching in her throat. The whisper came again, closer this time. It sounded like her name. She grabbed her phone, her hand shaking so badly she could barely dial. The battery icon blinked red, empty. The whispering stopped. Silence descended, heavy and suffocating. Maya lay awake until dawn, her fear a living thing in the darkness. The next few days were a blur of terror. Objects moved inexplicably. Footsteps echoed in the empty hallways. Shadows flickered at the edge of her vision. Maya felt a constant presence, watching her, toying with her. One evening she saw it, a fleeting glimpse, a shadow detaching itself from the darkness of the hallway. It was tall and gaunt, its features obscured by the gloom, but she saw enough, the eyes burning with an eerie intensity. The Watcher. Panic seized her. Maya knew she had to leave, to escape the house and its horrors, but something held her back. A feeling of morbid curiosity, a need to understand the darkness that consumed her family. Driven by fear and a strange sense of duty, Maya delved deeper into her mother's journal. The entries grew more frantic, more desperate. Her mother wrote of researching the house's history, uncovering a dark secret. One entry, the last one in the journal, offered a glimmer of hope. Her mother wrote of a ritual, a way to appease the Watcher, to break its hold on the house. The ritual was dangerous, but it was Maya's only chance. Hope flickered within Maya, a tiny flame in the overwhelming darkness. She would confront the Watcher, armed with the knowledge her mother left behind. She would break the cycle of fear or die trying. Following her mother's instructions, Maya gathered the necessary items. An antique silver mirror, a lock of her own hair, a single white rose. The ritual was to be performed at the stroke of midnight in the heart of the house, the old drawing room. As the grandfather clock in the hall chimed 12 times, Maya stood trembling in the drawing room. She held the mirror before her, its silver surface reflecting her fear-stricken face. Following the ritual, she whispered the words her mother had written, her voice barely a whisper. A cold wind swept through the room, extinguishing the candles. The mirror grew warm in her hand, its surface swirling like a pool of liquid silver. And then he emerged from the mirror, tall, gaunt, his eyes burning with a cold fire. The Watcher. Fear threatened to consume Maya, but she stood her ground. "Leave this house," she commanded, her voice surprisingly steady. "Leave and never return." The Watcher tilted his head, a grotesque parody of curiosity. He took a step closer, reaching out with a clawed hand. Suddenly the silver mirror grew searing hot, burning Maya's hand. She cried out, dropping the mirror. It shattered, the shards reflecting the moonlight like 1,000 tiny eyes. The Watcher let out an ear-piercing shriek, his form flickering, fading. Then just as quickly as he appeared, he was gone. The house was silent. The only sound was the ticking of the grandfather clock. But Maya was gone. The room was empty, the only evidence of her presence the shattered mirror and a single white rose, its petals already turning brown at the edges. The old house still stands, silent and watchful. Some say it is just an empty shell, haunted by the echoes of the past. But others whisper that it is still under the Watcher's watchful gaze, waiting for the next unsuspecting soul to cross its threshold. No one knows what happened to Maya that night. Did she manage to escape the Watcher's grasp, or did she become another victim, claimed by the darkness that consumed her family? The answer, like the Watcher itself, remains shrouded in shadow. One thing is certain, some secrets are best left undisturbed.